Did you ever wonder who those people who rescue dogs really are? I mean, what's their everyday life like? How do they go about doing what they do? Is what you see in their social media an actual depiction of the truth? Is it an exaggeration, or is it an understatement of their work? Well, I decided to follow one of the top rescuers in Greece around for an entire day. Her name is Hermione, and she is one of the most respected ones in the country. Once you follow her on social media, this tiny woman keeps appearing in your newsfeed, rescuing more dogs than you can imagine, from the town, the nearby villages, the mountains and the fields, from drains and ditches, carrying dogs that are double her weight sometimes. She just never stops, and I mean never. And it's not just the rescuing, that's an hour or two. There are more than 100 dogs under her care that need to be fed, socialized, medically checked and promoted for adoption. Her everyday life seems crazy, but is it really? I needed to find that out for myself, so I traveled to central Greece recently and spent the whole day with her, not leaving her out of my sight for 1 second. I literally followed her around like a puppy. That was our inside joke. And this is what it's like to be her from dusk till dawn. So we meet really early in the morning, and of course she's on the phone, a phone that won't stop ringing for the rest of the day.
You're awake at?
From 6 a.m. today.
So our first stop is at the vet's, and in the meantime she's put her working outfit on, well, half of it anyway. We're going to check the 2 dogs that were brought in last night, and then we're going to check on Medel, who was rescued the day before with pyometra and came in for emergency surgery.
Isn't she lovely? Yes, just neutered yesterday.
So Medel is being prepared for discharge, and we're off only to come back later. We meet Katerina on the way, Hermione's right-hand woman, and we're on our way to the shelter. I change shoes, Hermione finishes getting dressed, and the dogs welcome their new companion, Medel. The phone won't stop ringing, and between the barking, the excitement and the filming, I get a few moments to say hello to some of my favorite rescues, like Sasha, who was found abandoned with her newborns up on a mountain, and Benji, who literally came back from the dead about a year ago.
We will take one of the dogs here, go back to the vet for a next neuter, and then we go take a puppy and go back to the vet. Ποιος κλαίει?
So Hermione makes her arrangements with Katerina, and between phone calls and chores, we put sweet Ellie in the box and we're off for the vet again. City outfit on, and we're driving to the town again among endless phone calls. We arrive at the vet, and while Ellie is being examined, we are waiting for another dog to be brought in.
This is a dog that we were searching for it for 5 days. A lady feeds him in a neighborhood, and she got lost the last 5 days. And something is wrong with her health. So we searched it on Facebook, a friend saw it, called me, and now we are doing this for people to help us.
Coming here.
Yes, to bring it here to health check it.
Apart from her own rescues, Hermione offers help and medical care for strays in need in the entire town, like this big girl who was just brought in.
All the stray that live still on the road and we are not able to rehome them or to collect them in the shelter, we neuter them, we deworm them and vaccinate them, and if they have a health issue, we resolve it, of course, and we do treatments on the street. But we are unable to take them all under our care, so a lot of dogs still live on the street. We care for them every day, for the food, for the vet care, for the neuter and everything. Like this one. So as you can see, all the dogs are mine today, all new. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is just for 1 day, and we are still waiting 2 more to come.
Yep, that's right. All dogs at the clinic's infirmary that day are hers. And with no time to waste, we're off to take another puppy that Hermione just rescued the day before. Okay, brace yourselves now. We're about to have an overdose of heart-melting cuteness.
Oh, my heart! Oh! Oh! Can I hold it?
Yes, of course.
Oh my god!
Look at this tail.
Oh my god! Θα πεθάνω! Έλα μου εδώ! Έλα μου. Μαλάκα, θα με πεθάνεις. Εντάξει, let's go.
So while I have Panda on my lap, Hermione says goodbye to the stray dogs she feeds around the area, and we're off to make the vet's heart melt as well, with the cutest puppy of all puppies that was found all alone in a field, abandoned. What is wrong with people? I'll never know. 1 kilo and 300 grams. Bless you, Panda. I know you want to stay here longer, but we've got to go. We're taking Panda back to the warehouse, and Hermione is calculating the bill to the vet only for today.
Let's say for today, for 1 day, our debt to the vet for today only is, let me count the animals, it is for 1 day over 500 euros, the money that we should give her, which we don't have, of course. We have many cases every day and many animals indeed, so we have 2 or 3 vets working with us. We do neuter every day, do health checks, dewormings, vaccinations, microchip, everything that several animals need. We need to pay a lot of money every day, so the debt is rising up every day. But they can trust us because we are trying to fundraise or do anything in our power to find the money to pay them. It's never easy, but they know us for many years and they trust us, and we trust them, of course, and we have a good cooperation with the vets here.
And after we leave Panda, she opens up a bit more.
People in Greece do not understand what we are doing and why we are doing this. It is, I believe every rescuer in Greece deals with such situation. People think that we are the crazy ladies, that we don't have life. Well, we do have life. I'm married, I have a young son, 9 years old, I have a job, I have everything. But they don't care to ask me if I do have a life. They only care to judge me that I do nothing in my life and I do only care for animals. Sometimes they say bad things about us, but this is our life. We have learned to live with this. We keep on trying to rescue as many animals as we can, and we don't hear people judging us.
Pet store stop, of course. I'm sure she's their best customer over there.
So about the food, we need about 50 kilos dry food per day. The wet food is extra. So 50 kilos per day.
For how many animals?
We have over 100 animals at the moment. The number is never the same. When we have adoptions, some of them are lucky enough to leave us. When we have interning dogs that coming in, the number getting high. But usually we need about 50 kilos dry food per day. This costs us about 50 euros per day. So you can imagine we need over 1,000 euros per month for food only.
And we're on our way to the shelter again, where for about half an hour I just watch Hermione among her dogs that adore her and that she adores back. The dogs that she rescued and that she brought back to life. And among endless chores, it's already midday and we beg her for some lunch. Do you normally have lunch or you're having lunch now because we're here?
Yes, we're having lunch because of you. I normally finish my things and then go.
Because of us.
Yeah.
So after a quick lunch, during which Hermione is constantly on the phone, we're off again.
Am I pretty with this outfit?
You're very pretty always.
We're going back to the warehouse so that Panda can break some more hearts, while Hermione and Fotini clean up and give the dogs their treatments, their medication, and the necessary TLC. Most of their rescue dogs were brought back to life in this modest warehouse that the municipality offers her.
This is a small warehouse. The municipality owns this place, and they allow us to help some animals here because it has a floor and we can clean it better. The injury one, the puppies, things like that.
And while the girls are cleaning up and giving treatments, the rest of us are falling in love with the latest abandonment on the field nearby. The Panda, second cutest puppy of all puppies, is doing everything he can to make himself irresistible. Our hearts melt and we just can't have Hermione take in one more dog after seeing how overwhelmed she is.
I've got this little voice in my ear.
Take it.
Take it.
So, with some persuasion that wasn't really necessary,
She's gonna take him.
and that's it. We named the furball Robbie. He's coming back with us the next day, and he'll be up for adoption by Greek Animal Rescue. I'm including a link below.
You do this every day.
Yeah, every day.
There's no running water here.
No, we have a tap, but it's running just a little bit, so we keep the water there. We always leave food here because a lot of stray animals passing this way, so we always feed them.
It's already evening and we need to go back to the shelter, this time to spend real time with the dogs. Each of them has his or her individual story to tell. Each of them is unique and up for adoption, and we are trying to meet as many as we can. Between wagging tails, some donations,
Greek Animal Rescue here.
We're very happy for diamonds and clothes and...
I'm happy with this!
and some other problems.
The company of Khadija cut the water. They fixed something, I think. So now the water comes back dirty. And we don't have clean water today to give the animals.
Hermione shows us around and introduces the dogs that she knows better than anyone. From the rescue, their medical issues, and their character to their weight and height, she knows everything and keeps detailed records of all of them.
It's my files. I have on my phone files, so I keep records for the dogs. The birthday, November 17th.
So she's been here all that time.
We have her since she was 4 months old. She's microchipped. We know where we found her. And she's fully vaccinated and neutered.
We spend about 3 hours there with the dogs. Once you're in their company, you just never want to leave. They are so hungry for love and attention. They are so happy that we are there. They are so special and amazing. But it's getting dark and there is no electricity there, so we need to start heading back. Before we leave, I take a short walk with Hermione outside, and with the barks fading in the background, I get her to tell me her story about how everything began.
So it was about almost 10 years ago. I was pregnant to my son, 9 months pregnant, and I had a huge belly. So I was driving my car and I saw a lady. She was holding a dog, a small-sized dog from this side of his body, and she was throwing it to the garbage. So I stopped my car and saw that the dog was still alive. I started screaming, started fighting with the lady, and the lady just ignored me and went back to her home. Her home was back from the garbage. So I called the police, and the police came. 2 officers came there to help me. They were asking the lady to come out from her house, but she was ignoring them too. All those time, the dog, I took it out, of course, from the garbage, and it was next to the garbage, and scrolling himself and went inside her yard, and there was a dog house, so the dog was hers. The dog went home, practically. So the lady was inside looking at us. The officers didn't know what to do. They said, we need to leave now. I said no, and I started screaming. The officers afraid that I will give birth over there because I had a huge belly. It was my time to give birth. And I was screaming, I'm not giving birth! Take her out of the house! It was a funny situation. Finally, we won. The lady came out because the police opened the siren, and we make too many noise over there, so neighborhoods came out and those things. She refused that the dog was hers. She said that this dog house was from another dog. Anyway, she signed the papers from the policeman that she's okay for us to take the dog. We took the dog. The only problem, the dog was hit by a car and he had a broken bone at his back feet. That's the only thing he had, nothing else. We did the necessary surgery back then, and his name was Matthias. He's adopted by Back then he was a student, today he's a vet, and he has a wonderful life. Well, that broke my heart in 1,000 pieces, so I started thinking that we all have to help. When we see it in front of us, we can't ask other people to do it. I saw it, I had to do something. Even if I didn't know what to do, I called the police. There are animal organizations that can help. We can ask for help. So everyone must act when they see something. We can't turn our eyes other way and leave. We have to act. We have to do something. So I did it, and I kept on going, and I didn't stop since then, and I will never stop. That's it. Let's go.
As we are heading back, that day that was the longest I've ever had and seemed to be never ending is over for me, but not for her. She will go home, change, take her son to a school party, cook dinner and be a wife and a mother, and tomorrow she will do it all over again, and the day after tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after, and the day after, and the day after, and the day after. Hello, I am Valia. If you like the videos, please subscribe, and if you can, join me on Patreon and help create more compassionate people. Para la versión del canal en castellano, busquen el enlace abajo.